Hey, Battle Bill here with another video, and today we're getting some more Season 6 Great League Go Battle League battles. With today's video, we have entered the halfway mark in the Season 6 season, and with this checkpoint, we've been introduced to some updated moves and some move pool changes, or really new moves introduced to certain Pokemon. A couple of which we're going to be going over in today's video, one of them being Politoed getting access to Water Weather Ball, and the other one being ALOLAN Ninetales getting access to Ice Weather Ball. I took these two Pokemon, put them together with Umbreon as a solid save swap option, and honestly had a ton of success with this team of three. This team of three is so spammy. So what you'll notice is the quick move on Politoed is pretty straightforward. I went with Mud Shot. I invested the Elite Charge TM and put Earthquake on Politoed because it really helps in the mirror match and helps against Azumarill, even though it got nerfed with Bubble. Still around the meta quite a bit. And then with ALOLAN Ninetales, I decided to go with Powder Snow over Charm. That's like a 50-50 coin flip. You can have success with either of those quick moves, but with Powder Snow, that's what makes this team so spammy, and I had a ton of success with it. I have about 8 battles here, because 2 of them I might have left Surf on Politoed and not realized, but like I said, had a lot of success in some legend-ranked battles, and I'm excited to showcase these battles on the channel for you all. So if you're really excited for this, and honestly, I highly recommend you check out other content creators going over the new moves and the move updates, the move pool updates that other Pokemon may have gotten, or even these same ones. Get as much information as you can, because you want to make that decision if these are Pokemon you want to invest in and see how much they're going to have an effect on the Great League meta. And honestly, I think Politoed and ALOLAN Ninetales might be sticking around for a while past the hype, because like I said, I did really well with this. So if you're excited to see these battles and you're excited to, check out this content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really goes a long way in helping me support and continue to push out this content as soon as I possibly can for you all. Alright, so let's get into this first matchup. We have Politoed and ALOLAN Ninetales. Look at that. They're using their updated Pokemon also. And we're over farming here. They're spamming their quick move. I'm spamming my quick move. We're getting a ton of energy on both ends. I'm at 2 Weather Balls. They're probably at 2 Weather Balls. I decide to throw one of my Weather Balls. It lands, and then they decide to throw one of their charge moves. And I decide to let this go through, assuming they're just going to go for another Weather Ball. And they throw a whole Dazzling Gleam at me. And that hurt a lot. I was honestly surprised to see that, considering just the fact that I decided to go with Side Shock on mine, and I have to do a little bit more research to see if that's a potential play. I don't know if you'd want it in the lead if you're going to run such a big move. Maybe in the end game, that would really help a lot, especially because you're sacrificing your Charm play by running Powder Snow. So in end game with Powder Snow, Dazzling Gleam as a closer, that could definitely be an option, and it's a nice little, unique niche for ALOLAN Ninetales to have in the Great League meta. But I end up taking out their ALOLAN Ninetales with the Earthquake, so I win lead. They come in with Vigoroth, and oh my god, look at how quickly I'm getting to these charge moves. They're going to get to a Body Slam here. I'm going to let this go through. I'm already over a Weather Ball just because the Powder Snow is generating energy so quickly, and Weather Ball is such a cheap charge move. We're at 1.5 Weather Balls here. We want to kind of trick them since, these are some new Pokemon. People might not know exactly what to expect from them. Get the shield. We CMP tie. Since they use a shield, I'll match my shield. And this should be another Body Slam. There's no reason for them to throw any other move here. We're going to get to another Weather Ball, just another couple Powder Snows. We overfarm a bit, just to kind of throw them off again, just in case they don't know the energy generation. It's a little trick I try to use to have success in certain matchups. It can definitely flip certain games. We get a little bit of lag there, and then they pull off a great swap. So they apparently knew exactly where Weather Ball was, or the lag helped them out in figuring it out, because they catch a Weather Ball on their Lantern. But I go into Umbreon. I have a 1 shield to no shield advantage here, and it's going to take the Lantern a while to throw its charge moves. They really need to land a Hydro Pump, but honestly, even if they do in this situation, I think I'm sitting pretty good. The Vigoroth's almost dead, so all I really want to do here is take out the Lantern and have a foul play left over, so when the Vigoroth comes in, I could take that out also. They go for the Hydro Pump. I call it, which is huge. And then I think they decide to quit from there just because they know once I call the big move, even if they get to another one, Umbreon is such a tank. It's going to have no problem handling the Hydro Pump. And let's just get into the next match. We're going up against Endoof here. And we have a Politoed on a Tropius lead. So this is a poor lead matchup. So this is where we're going to utilize Umbreon as a safe swap. Notice how these Tropiuses aren't really running Razor Leaf right now. So that's but it's beneficial for my Politoed because it doesn't really take any damage as I swap out. They decide to stay in this matchup a little bit, and they throw a Leaf Blade here. And we're going to find out why in just a moment. I'm still building energy because they swap into their own Umbreon. So the reason why they did that was they wanted to try and give their own Umbreon a bit of a health advantage, because I had the energy advantage, and if they came in straight up while I was 1 snarl ahead, I would end up just outpacing every charge move and be able to get off the last resorts quicker. So unless they baited me towards the end of this matchup, I would be able to flip switch. Now this is still pretty tight, even though they threw the Leaf Blade. We're gonna sit here for a minute, watch a few last resorts go back and forth between these Umbreons. Might take a little while. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts on the updated moves are. Let me know what you're testing out, what you're excited to see content wise, if there's anything else you want to see from me first. I just kind of jumped into this. I really wanted to showcase Politoed because I already invested the Elite TM into it, because I think it was literally my last video that I showcased Politoed from Owen Mulvaney's submission, and that had me really excited for just Politoed's action and its potential improvement because of the new move Weather Ball being added to it. So I invested in Earthquake before it even changed and we had any information on it. Plus I knew I was probably going to do some battles and try and feature them on the channel. So we've thrown a couple last resorts here, and you might notice something. Their health is really low. Neither of us have traded a shield here. I'm going to use a shield here. This ends up being a mistake on their part. They go for a last resort. My health is definitely in foul play range, so I'm going to go for a foul play because their health is definitely in it too. I'm expecting the shield because they really want to keep switch, just because they would probably want to keep my my Politoed lined up with their Tropius. But because of how low they are, I'm going to be able to shield this also, and now snarl down. So them throwing that Leaf Blade didn't really benefit them when they threw the Leaf Blade from their Tropius onto my Umbreon, because it allowed me to still take switch when they swapped in their own mirror Umbreon. The Tropius comes back in. I'm going to throw a foul play. Wasn't expecting the shield. I'm waiting for them to take me out. I'm kind of hoping these Air Slash take me out a little bit quicker, just because I don't want that Tropius to get too much farm. And now I can bring in my ALOLAN Ninetales here, deal this double super effective damage to the Tropius. Look at how much these Powder Snows are chunking at it. It's already lost like half its health that it had when it came in. They throw a Leaf Blade. ALOLAN Ninetales isn't like, you know, the tankiest Pokemon, but it can handle it. They swap into a Sableye. I'm not expecting them to shield. I'm expecting them to want to save that shield for Tropius, so I'm going to build up to the Earthquake. I don't think Earthquake is even the play, to be completely honest. I think the only time you want to throw Earthquake is if Weather Ball is going to be resisted. But this was me still testing things out, so I decided to throw the Earthquake, because Politoed is like, I like it. I really like it. And I want to invite it to the Mudboy Club, but it's kind of a fake Mudboy. It's only a water type. It doesn't have that ground typing. It's not getting stabbed on the Earthquakes. But I don't mind that I threw it and they take me out there, because it's going to put me in a situation where I can Powder Snow down the Sableye, or at least try to. They get to a foul play. It's going to be resisted. ALOLAN Ninetales is just going to barely hold on. My plan here, which is why I farmed down, is to have 2 Weather Balls so that I can throw them back to back to take out the Tropius. But what you're going to notice is, you might have just seen it, their Air Slash went through during my charge move, and even though I have another Weather Ball there, I wasn't able to get it off, and I just barely lose a match where I lost lead super hard, and Umbreon came in clutch as a save swap, and I had the energy too. I did everything I could to win that match. Unfortunately, the Air Slash went through, but Weather Ball would have definitely taken out the Tropius from that health. So maybe if I clicked the Weather Ball quicker, because I wasn't sure if that Sableye was dead there. So like I was trying to be careful of throwing, because I wanted to make sure I Powder Snow the Sableye down. So I might have been like a tiny bit slow on the charge move click, which is what let that come through. Now we won lead here pretty hard. We have Politoed on Galarian Sunfisk. They save swap into Meganium, and this is just food for my ALOLAN Ninetales. I'm over farming like crazy. You do have to watch out for the Frenzy Plant, because it still hurts. It's dealing neutral damage to ALOLAN Ninetales, but I'm over farming a bunch here. They really want to flip switch. They want to keep their Galarian Sunfisk away from my Politoed. But I'm almost at 2 Weather Balls, so I know for a fact they can shield here, and they're not going to get to a Frenzy Plant before I get to another Weather Ball. And what they really should do is let this go through because of that, but they decide to shield, so that puts me in an even better spot, because now I just get to this Weather Ball. And ALOLAN Ninetales would win CMP. Like I said, it's not the tankiest, so its attack stat is definitely higher than Meganium. And if I'm wrong about that, somebody please correct me in the comment section, but I'm pretty confident I'm correct about that. And honestly, I'm not sitting in a bad spot here, because ALOLAN Ninetales is a good chunk of health. These Weather Balls are going to deal neutral damage to the Galarian Sunfisk. They're going to be spammy as heck. They're going to have to throw a Rock Slide to take out my ALOLAN Ninetales. And even though Rock Slide got nerfed, it's still super effective here, and gonna take out that remaining health. I had like 40% health there. They swap immediately into an Abomasnow, so they were running some sort of Galarian Stunfisk double grass strat, and Umbreon's gonna be fine in this matchup to handle the Abomasnow, keep everything lined up, and win this match. So far, I've only tested out both Politoed and ALOLAN Ninetales, because I just had so much success with it. I was gonna go back to my Diggersby team after doing one set of this, and I was like, oh my god, these Pokemon are spammy as heck. And on top of it, we have Umbreon, the spammy tanky Pokemon, which is just everything threat and shields here. It makes you decide whether or not, like, should you shield, should I not shield, should I save the shield later? Oh, I regret it now, because now I'm just getting hit by a bunch of different charge moves, because I use my shields early game, I can't use them late game. But I am kind of tempted to test out maybe Dazzling Gleam on the not on the Psyshock, on the ALOLAN Ninetales. But having Psyshock does help in that Azumarill matchup, and we don't get to see it in this video, but dealing those neutral Psyshocks came in clutch for me for a couple matches, so I was very thankful to have it. I'm going to build to the Earthquake. They're going to quit as I get to it, unfortunately taking the satisfaction away from me of winning that match with an Earthquake on a Galarian Stunfisk. But yeah, because Fairy on Fairy is resisted, which is why you don't want Dazzling Gleam on your Alolan Ninetales for that matchup, right? I'm just like guessing at typings at this point. Just rip on me in the comment section. I deserve it. I still don't know my typings, yet I somehow hit Legend every season. So, you know. What can I say? 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 I don't know. I got nothing to say. But anyhow, this next matchup, Politoed on Deoxys. They must have been running Psycho Boost Rock Slide because that Politoed and Deoxys matchup isn't the best one. Because again, Politoed, wannabe Mudboy. Maybe they didn't realize. Maybe they just assumed because there's ground moves that is a Mudboy. And it's a water and ground typing, but Politoed don't want to see a Thunderbolt. So they then safe swap into Vigoroth here, and I'm like, okay, this isn't the worst thing in the world. I'll keep in Politoed because then I can line up Umbreon with that Defense Deoxys later on in the match. So let's see how this one's going to play out. This one ends up being a really close match. And I think this is the infamous triple counter team. They have Defense Deoxys, they have Vigoroth. It's a really good team. My entire team, well, 2/3 of my team takes neutral damage from the counters because Alolan Ninetales has that Ice but Fairy typing. Umbreon takes super effective, but Umbreon's so tanky, it might as well just be neutral damage, let's be honest. Oh, this is a part where it comes back to bite me. They decided, I think, not to use a shield in the Politoed Vigoroth matchup. And even though I get off these Weather Balls and I'm spamming and being a bit threatening, they're going to be able to counter me down. So all the extra farm is helping them out, especially after they Psycho boosted and dipped. I come into Umbreon, so I'm like, okay, let's take whatever this charge move is, whether it be Psycho Boost, Rock Slide. It doesn't end up being a Thunderbolt, so I guess it's just because the way to play the double counter team, or triple counter team, is to not really keep Defense Deoxys in, because the back line is so weak to fighting with Vigoroth and Obstagoon, even though they have counter and are normal types, and Obstagoon being a dark type taking double super effective. So the logic is to lure out the fighter so that basically it lines up, like the Vigoroth lures it out, gets beaten by it, Defense Deoxys, and kind of like farms it up. So that's probably the main reason why they didn't stay in that original matchup. But for this situation, it ends up working out for them too, because those counters again are doing neutral damage to me. I do have to be a little bit worried about a Gunk Shot. I don't remember if I shielded that last move or not, because I was trying to explain something, so I wasn't really looking at the screen. But I'm just gonna spam Weather Balls here. I know that my opponent throws a Gunk Shot here. I know that happens, so that's why I was thinking about it. And I'm like, honestly, at this health, maybe they could have gone with the Night Slash, but Night Slash wouldn't have taken me out. So I don't know. Night Slash, some counter downs. I potentially get to the Weather Ball there. Oh, I remember why I lost this match. That Obstagoon boosted while I wasn't paying attention, didn't it? Yes, I remember this. So I throw the Last Resort there, but the extra couple counters that Obstagoon gets in puts my Umbreon in a health range where the Defense Deoxys is able to do its super effective counters. And the Thunderbolt is just going to get me this close, and I'm going to fall one Snarl short of my next foul play. You see how I'm at that foul play? This gets the Defense Deoxys super low. Let's see where it gets it. Right there. I throw another Snarl. Honestly, one more Snarl would have taken it out. I wouldn't have even needed the foul play. But because I took that little bit of boosted counter damage, Umbreon couldn't tank another counter. And I literally lost for that exact reasoning. So that was unfortunate, but well played by my opponent. Those types of matches is bound to happen. Now, another Spice Pokemon is in this matchup, Crawdon. So the reason why it's Spice is, or not Spice, well, it is Spice. It's also an updated move Pokemon. Crabhammer now deals more damage, and I didn't know this until literally this match, but Crabhammer has the chance to boost the Crawdon's attack stat. I think it was always like that, but Crawdon was so glassy that people weren't really using it, and so were Kingler, but they get a boost in this matchup, which is the only reason why I know that information. But yeah, they swapped into a Whimsicott there, and I took it out in my Alolan Ninetales because I have Powder Snow and Weather Ball, dealing super effective damage. But their Charm still chunked away at my Ninetales. They come in with their own Ninetales, and this, I find out this ends up being a Crawdon double Charm strat, and I'm unfortunately not going to get to that charge move there, but I need to come back in with Politoed here, right? Yeah, because I don't want to take the Charm damage on my Umbreon. The Charms are really starting to add up. I'm trying to overfarm here just because that Crawdon is worrying me. The Weather Balls are going to be resisted, my Umbreon's Foul Plays are going to be resisted, and the Crabhammers are going to hurt a lot when they land. So I'm also trying not to use both of my shields here, but I have to use one just because the Alolan Ninetales got to move. I was expecting the Crawdon to come back in, and I'm just going to spam these resisted Weather Balls. The positive here is that, again, Crawdon is so glassy that it really needs to shield these Weather Balls regardless. So I didn't need to throw like an Earthquake or a big move in that situation, even though water resist grounds. Here's me not knowing my typings again. Regardless, I'm going straight Weather Ball for that exact reason. Plus, they have the shields, so there's no point in me even throwing the Earthquake, whether it would take neutral or be resisted. I'm really drawing a blank on that one, too. I'm really off with my typing say. But yeah, look, this thing got a boost on me, and I used the shields. I was like, wait, is that a guaranteed boost, or was that like a 1 in 8 shot or a 50% shot? Because look at how much this Crab Hammer's about to do. I did 2/3 to an Umbreon. That was neutral damage. Umbreon doesn't even get like one shot by super effective focus blasts. That was a boosted Crab Hammer neutral damage that took out 2/3 of my Umbreon's health. I was mind blown. I was like, let me get rid of this thing before it annihilates me, and I had to include this in the YouTube video. And I'm like, damn, now I gotta make a video on a Crawdon because this thing is such a beast. And then they come back in with their ALOLAN Ninetales here because of the fact their switch timer was up. I had to throw this foul play because I was gonna get charmed down, and I need to really hope that I can either snarl down the Crawdon or with the little bit of, oh no, my Politoed had a ton of health. But I needed to make sure I could mud shot down that Crawdon before it got off another Crab Hammer, because the Crab Hammer definitely, from what we saw there, is this the same match? It's the same match. My apologies. From what we saw there, I'm pretty confident it was going to take out all of Politoed's health, because it was only like, what, 50-ish%, and Politoed is nowhere near as tanky as Umbreon. So, getting into this next matchup, we have Politoed on an Umbreon here, and what I ended up learning again, or just not even checking, but kind of just like use some deductive reasoning, was that Weather Ball, Stab, Politoed, Fake Mud Boy, don't throw Earthquake. Oh wait, no, I did throw the Earthquake because I wanted to see how much I was going to do. Actually, this is where I literally learned it. I forgot I tested it on the Umbreon. So I throw this Earthquake, we see how much damage it does there, and I'm like, alright, I know I can tank some foul plays, so I'm not too worried about throwing that if it was worse DPE-wise, and now I'm just going to go straight Weather Ball. And I'm going to find out here from this Weather Ball that it did about half of what the Earthquake did, so there wasn't too much of a difference there. I should really get you that information. Maybe I'll throw it in the comment section, because I do apologize that I don't have this information. I kind of just put this team together and was like, I want to battle with it, and I started to have more and more success and just getting more and more excited about it. And then I wanted to put out the video as soon as I possibly could. So I throw another Weather Ball there, and it gets the Umbreon really, really low, but if I want to win lead here, I would have to use a shield, and what did I decide to do here? I decided to let this go through because I felt comfortable coming with ALOLAN Ninetales and powder snowing this thing completely down. Even if it got to a foul play here, I wasn't worried about taking that damage, but I powder snowed it all the way down, and I got all the way to a Weather Ball because of it. So now we have to see what their remaining Pokemon are going to be in the back, and they have a Deoxys, which isn't the worst thing in the world because of ALOLAN Ninetales Fairy typing. So it's taking neutral from the counters. I do have to worry about the Rock Slides though, so I want to spam these Weather Balls, and I do want to try to catch a Rock Slide on my Umbreon. If I fail the catch, I can then just shield, because we're in a 2-shield matchup. But I'm just getting off as many of these Weather Balls as I possibly can, and I swap there. Did not catch it. Lured out of Skarmory though, and I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot here, just because of the fact that Skarmory's Sky Attack got nerfed, so these Sky Attacks coming through are going to do less damage than they usually would, and I know Umbreon does pretty well against Skarmory on top of the fact that I have energy advantage because I swapped in first. So I'm going to be spamming foul plays away, and they're going to be throwing Sky Attacks. This matchup is going to take a minute. I should think of other things to talk about during this time. Nothing else will really come into mind here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, please, and thank you for this very spicy content. But like I said, I had a ton of success. I gained over like 100 points with this team. I don't know how much I'm going to fit into the title of this video. I'm probably just going to end up saying something along the lines of Politoed and ALOLAN Ninetales are super spammy, but I really enjoyed using this team, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. I really only thought I was going to do one set, and then I just started winning matches. I started winning more matches, and I started spamming charge moves, and I was getting super spammy. Like, look at this foul play. Like, they can't even get up another charge move here. This will threaten their shields or take out the Skarmory, and if they decide to let the Skarmory go down, then they have to put their Deoxys on my Umbreon, which is not going to be good for them. So they decide to shield there. I swap. I catch a move just because, you know, might as well keep the Umbreon alive. It'll get to a foul play against the Deoxys if need be, or it'll get to a foul play against the Skarmory if need be, because it's almost at one. It's like one snarl away. They swap back into their defense Deoxys. Weather Ball takes it out, and they decide to quit. So, pretty solid match there. Ended up, honestly, in that situation, Sky Attack being nerfed definitely helped. I don't think even regular Sky Attack would have put me in a situation where I felt like I would have needed to shield, and plus I knew that the Deoxys could have had a Rock Slide, so I wasn't shielding no matter what. I was taking that neutral damage because I don't want to take the super effective Rock Slide. Alright, we got a little twin over here. We have Politoed and some Politoed action, a shiny Politoed at that. We see him P-tie. I'm worried about a potential Earthquake here. I decide to shield, and I think this is a match that ends up being proof to why you should really get the use the Elite Charge Jam on your Politoed. I go for an Earthquake here. I don't remember if they shielded it or not. They don't shield it. It puts the Politoed in the yellow. They decide to swap. Am I mixing up my matches? I did a lot of matches with this team. I apologize. And then they come back in with Skarmory. But you see how much that Earthquake did. So maybe the fact that I had Earthquake is why they swapped out. Maybe we'll find out later in this match. But they come with a Skarmory, and I'm like, I'm sitting in a pretty nice spot here. I don't really need to go into Umbreon or Alolan Ninetales. I can let a Sky Attack come through, and I can spam these Weather Balls. They're quite threatening. I get to them so fast. I'm almost at 2 already now. This will put the Skarmory into the yellow. The next one will probably take it out. No, I won't take it out. I'll put it into the red. But still, I'm at another one now. And if they want to try and Air Slash me down, I'll probably get to another one. So let's see how greedy my opponent decides to be here. I don't even get a shield there, but it puts the Skarmory into the red, and they are getting greedy. And look at me at another Weather Ball. Look at how quickly these Weather Balls are going off. It's honestly mind-boggling. I feel like I haven't seen a Pokemon this spammy before. And then they finally commit to the Air Slash down, but it costs them the shields. And then I can come into Umbreon, because no matter what move they throw here, Umbreon is such a tank. It will absorb it all. This is definitely going to be a Brave Bird, and it'll do about 45%, 40% of Umbreon's health. And then I snarl down because they decide not to swap out, which I can understand why. They want to keep things lined up a certain way. Oh, this is not the match we find out about Blizzard. I apologize. They come back in with their Politoed here, though. This is only going to be a Weather Ball. They could have potentially, like I said, had Blizzard, and my Earthquake scared them away. That's always a potential situation of what just happened there, which is why I ended up winning lead. And then I throw the Foul Play, almost take out the Politoed, go into my ALOLAN Ninetales to go and farm it down, get some extra farm. Their last Pokemon is going to be a Meganium, and we end up winning that match there because they just quit. And I can't blame them. They didn't have any shields. I had a shield. I would have gotten to 2 Weather Balls at least. That would have taken out the Meganium. 1 Weather Ball and some Powder Stones probably would have done a ton. And here we go with some redemption. We have another Politoed on a Tropius lead. We save swap into Umbreon. They save swap into Bastiodon. This is looking like some inverted grass hole where they have the Razor Leaf for first and then Bastiodon and Galarian Stunfisk behind it. At least that's what I first thought of because I've seen that team run a couple times and it's had some success against me. But my main objective here is to win switch. I'm going to let a Stone Edge go through because I know that I'm going to have to be able to tank at least one of these moves if I want to potentially win switch. I don't know exactly how this matchup goes at the time of me playing this, if I can win switch if I decide to commit shields. So that was my logic there. I know I will outpace it, and I know these Smackdowns really aren't doing that much. They're slowly chipping away, but Umbreon's such a tank. So we're going to be spamming Foul Plays. We'll get to 2 before, or 2.5 before they get to another Stone Edge. We sneak in another Snarl there, which is huge. And at this point, I'm like, in the 2 shield, I think I can out-spam it to the point is as long as Umbreon survives these Smackdowns, that I can win switch back. So this is where I decide, because I shielded, I'm like, all right, I can commit to switch. I'm going to go for another Foul Play here. Doesn't take it out. They're going to continue smacking down away at me. And I know I need 2 Foul Plays here in order to potentially get switch. I don't even think this one takes it out, actually. If I remember, I think I got a little shocked at the end because that one didn't take it out. And I wanted, again, like I said, I wanted switch. So they actually could have gotten switch from me, but they decide, I guess because they hadn't thrown a charge move, they didn't want to be at a shield disadvantage, they decide not to shield that. So we're at even shielding. So technically even shielding, I win switch there. And then they Air Slash me down, and I'm like, perfect. I did it perfect. I did exactly what I needed to do. I come in with ALOLAN Ninetales. They swap into Defense Deoxys. And this is where I become a bit concerned about Thunderbolt again because I'm not a real Mud Boy. I'm a wannabe Mud Boy, but I got mad love for Politoed. I'm going to include it in the Mud Boy Club. I let the Thunderbolt come through. It hurts, but Politoed can tank it just enough. So the hope here is I can potentially get to 3 Weather Balls. I will definitely get to 2 of them. This one gets a shield, which I'm assuming got the shield because I thought maybe an Earthquake was coming. So I'm like, awesome. And then I make a mistake because this is still where I'm iffy on if this was the play or not. I could have gotten off 2 Weather Balls based on what I saw from the Umbreon matchup. I'm like, 2 Weather Balls or 1 Earthquake seems to be very similar. And I know that the move that needs to be shielded here is Defense Deoxys' move. They end up going for a Psycho Boost, though. I didn't know they had Psycho Boost at this time, but I don't mind them having Psycho Boost there because now their counters are doing even less damage, and Thunderbolt would do even less damage if they threw it. If they threw Psycho Boost, they already debuffed themselves. So I'm surprised they threw as soon as they did. I guess maybe they're worried I had energy, but I Weather Ball. Let me get the move right. I Weather Ball, Defense Deoxys down. They come in with Tropius, and I know I can tank a Leaf Blade. So using the shield there was the play no matter what, just because a super effective Rock Slide was going to be way more threatening than any move coming from the Tropius. And I'm trying to get to 2 Weather Balls because I don't know that a singular double super effective Weather Ball would take out Tropius until now. It wouldn't one-shot it from full health, but I know it's a relatively small move, so I thought maybe it would survive with a little bit of health, and it ended up not surviving, and that is going to be the last match. Let's not get back into that match again. My apologies. That's going to be the last match of the set. I wasn't keeping track of numbers. All I know there is I won a lot more of the matches than I lost in that set, and I had a ton of fun using this team of 3. Highly recommend it. Might be, maybe, like I said, I did some other sets after, might be my newish go-to team with the move update. Like, I haven't tested out the Diggersby team at all. I feel like that team should improve, though, in this meta, especially with the increase in Politoeds, because Galvantula will love to see that. But let me not get on that tangent there. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, let me know in the comment section what other updated Pokemon or that's a word, you want to see me feature on the channel. I'll try to crank out as much of that content as I possibly can. I had a lot of fun using this team. I highly recommend it. Politoed and ALOLAN Ninetales are 100% worth the investment for some Great League Go Battle League battles. And just let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know what you thought of me going through 8 battles. This video is a little bit longer than usual. I know the last time I did this, or a couple times ago that I did this, I asked you guys, and for the most part, I got some positive feedback that you were cool with me mixing it up. So here I am mixing it up, and good luck on your battles. Good luck with the rest of the season. Still about a month and a half left. I'm sure you can all push the legend, and I will see you all in the next video.